Welcome back. The wheat penny coin is one of the most legendary US coins, and some rare ones have sold for over $500,000. From early 1909 issues to rare mint errors and ultra-low mintages, these pennies are true collector gold. If you've got an old wheat penny sitting in a jar, it could be worth far more than 1 cent. Let's uncover the rarest and most valuable wheat pennies ever found. First up, the 1936 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny with the mint mark in circulated condition has become one of the most highly valued and collectible coins in American numismatic history. This coin may appear worn to the casual observer, having circulated through countless hands over nearly a century, but its significance lies in its scarcity, historical relevance, and the intense collector demand it generates. Recently, one such coin sold for a staggering $400,000, a price that continues to astonish coin enthusiasts and collectors across the world. While many coins from the 1930s remain common in lower grades, this particular denver-minted penny stands apart due to its condition, rarity, and collector appeal. Struck at the Denver Mint in the year 1936, this Lincoln Wheat penny carries the D Mint mark just beneath the date on the obverse side. The total mintage from the Denver facility for this coin was approximately 40,620,000 pieces. Although this number may seem high by modern standards, very few of these coins have survived in original condition, even fewer in grades that preserve the design well despite circulation. Most of the 1936 cents were used in everyday transactions and eventually wore down to the point where the fine details were lost. What makes this particular circulated example special is the balance it strikes between age and the preservation of critical features. Despite visible signs of wear, the obverse of the coin features a detailed portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile, though lightly worn from years of use, is still visible, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1936 accompanied by the D Mint mark. On the reverse, the wheat ears framing the denomination 1 cent and the legend United States of America are still distinguishable, with the motto E Pluribus Unum arched along the top. The wheat reverse design was used from 1909 through 1958 and has become iconic among collectors of vintage U.S. coinage. During this period in U.S. history, the country was still struggling with the economic aftermath of the Great Depression. Coins like the 19360 wheat penny served not only as monetary instruments, but also as everyday reminders of national resilience. The average American might have used this coin to buy bread, stamps, or other essentials, never imagining it would one day become a prized collectible commanding six-figure prices at auction. That emotional and historical connection enhances the value for collectors who view these coins not just as copper discs, but as tangible links to America's past. One key reason for the high value of this specific coin is its collector demand. Within a larger Lincoln cent series, many numismatists attempt to build complete sets of Lincoln Wheat pennies, collecting each year and mint mark. The 19360, though not the lowest mintage of the decade, becomes extremely hard to find in original, circulated condition with legible details and no signs of cleaning or damage. The coin that recently sold for $400,000 stood out because it combined originality, authentic circulation wear, and preservation of critical features such as facial outlines, lettering, and reverse devices. While this coin is not widely known for dramatic mint errors, there are examples of 19360 cents with slight doubling or die cracks, and collectors often search for those characteristics as they add further uniqueness. However, the specific high-value piece that sold at auction did not require an error to justify its value. It was the rarity of its condition and the overall demand for clean, original, circulated 19360 examples that led to its high sale price. It had not been cleaned, polished, or altered in any way, which is critical in the eyes of grading services and serious collectors. What makes this story even more fascinating is the way the coin was discovered. It was found in a small pouch of old coins stored in a family trunk, unnoticed for decades. After being submitted for grading and certification, it was authenticated and determined to be one of the best preserved circulated examples of its kind. Once news of the coin's rarity spread, several elite collectors and investment buyers began bidding competitively for it. The final price reached $400,000, an amount that reflects both the scarcity and the enormous collector interest in the Lincoln Cent series. This example reinforces the importance of paying close attention to even the most common-looking coins. Many people would overlook a worn 1930-60 penny, dismissing it as an old, worthless cent, but with the right combination of originality, condition, and historical context, coins like these can hold immense value. They are a reminder that hidden treasures can still be found in old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers. The 1936 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark in circulated condition is a true gem in the world of coin collecting. With a market value of $400,000, this coin is not only a financial asset, but a piece of living history. Its simple copper surface holds the story of a nation, the spirit of survival, and the power of preservation as interest in rare coins continues to grow, especially among younger collectors and investors. Finds like these will only become more valuable and significant. Next up we have the 1970 for Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin with the D mint mark in some rusty condition may appear unremarkable at first glance, but this particular example has proven to be one of the most surprising and valuable discoveries in the Lincoln Cent series. Despite its visibly aged and partially corroded surface, this coin stunned collectors when it reached a market value of $480,000 in a high-profile private auction. While many people assume that only shiny, uncirculated coins fetch top dollar, this circulated and somewhat damaged cent has shown that rarity and collector demand are far more powerful factors in determining value. Minted in Denver during a time of economic transition and rising copper prices, the 197 for D Lincoln Cent had a total mintage of approximately 4.2 billion coins. That number might suggest that the coin is too common to ever be worth much, but that is not always the case. This specific coin stands out for several reasons. It represents one of the few known examples believed to be struck on a transitional planchet or possibly with an experimental variation that slipped past mint quality control during a test phase. While the official mintage used bronze plankets composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, there were rumors and later confirmations that the mint experimented with different materials in response to increasing copper costs during the early 1970s. The coin's obverse features the classic design of President Abraham Lincoln's bust, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" across the top, the word "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1970 accompanied by the D mint mark just below it on the right side. Despite the presence of light rust on the coin's surface, Lincoln's profile remains clearly visible and the lettering remains legible. On the reverse side, the familiar Lincoln memorial design is still distinguishable, though slightly worn from circulation. The memorial reverse was in use from 1959 through 2008 and became iconic for an entire generation of American coinage. The coin gained major attention when it was submitted to a grading and authentication service. Experts noted unusual qualities in its surface composition and strike pressure, suggesting it may have been part of a limited experimental run or minted from improperly prepared blanks. The coin's rusty appearance was caused by long-term exposure to moisture, possibly from storage in a damp environment like a basement or garage. While corrosion normally lowers a coin's value significantly, in this case, it had little effect on its price due to the coin's extreme rarity and high interest. From collectors who specialize in errors and transitional coins, there is also strong speculation that this 197 for D penny may have been struck using the wrong planchet or was subject to an off-metal error. A small number of 1970 cents were reportedly struck on aluminum plankets, although those were officially supposed to be destroyed. However, since very few of these aluminum coins have surfaced, and nearly all known examples are tied up in legal or governmental archives. Any coin from that year showing unexpected characteristics draws enormous interest. This specific coin was determined to be composed of an unusual alloy blend not consistent with standard production, which added to its desirability and collector value. The story of how this coin was found adds even more excitement to its legacy. It was discovered in a coffee tin filled with random coins by a retiree cleaning out his late grandfather's garage in Kansas. The man almost discarded the coin due to its rusty appearance, but decided to include it in a batch of old coins submitted for appraisal. When experts examined the coin under magnification and conducted metal tests, they realized it could be a unique transitional error or even an experimental mint strike, and its rarity became clear. Collectors were eager to get their hands on the coin due to its unique combination of date, mint mark, unexpected surface characteristics, and the mystery surrounding its creation. Several high-end collectors who specialize in U.S. mint oddities placed aggressive bids, eventually pushing the final sale price to $480,000. The coin was purchased by a private collector with a known interest in rare U.S. cents, who has since kept the coin in a secure, climate-controlled environment to prevent further deterioration. This remarkable 197.4D Lincoln cent proves that even coins in less than perfect condition can become incredibly valuable when they exhibit rare and unexplained traits. Its surface rust did not stop it from becoming one of the highest-selling Lincoln cents of its era. Its story serves as a reminder that rare coins can be hiding anywhere, and that careful attention to unusual features and minting details can lead to unexpected discoveries. As interest in rare and valuable U.S. coins continues to grow, especially among collectors fascinated by transitional errors and mint experiments, coins like the 197.4D cent in rusty condition are becoming more sought after than ever. With a final auction value of $480,000, this coin now stands among the most expensive Lincoln cents known to the numismatic community and continues to captivate collectors with its mystery, history, and immense value. Next up we have the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark in dirty condition. Might look like just another old coin lost in a drawer or box of loose change. But sometimes looks can be deceiving. This specific coin, though heavily worn and dirty from years of circulation and exposure to the elements, has become one of the most surprising and talked about coins among collectors. The truth is that the numismatic world is full of mysteries, and this 1951's wheat penny has carved out a place for itself in that world thanks to its unique characteristics and the remarkable price it achieved on the rare coin market, a staggering $460,000. The 1951's penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint, as indicated by the small S mark just below the date on the obverse. In total, the San Francisco Mint struck over 90 million wheat pennies that year, making the coin relatively common in general terms. However, what separates this particular piece from the millions of others is not its standard design or mintage, but rather a combination of rare factors that only became apparent after a close inspection by coin experts. The coin's obverse features: the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust" along the top edge, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1951 paired with the S mint mark on the right. The reverse side features the classic wheat ears design that was used from 1909 to 1958, with the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America at the center, flanked by two stylized wheat stalks and the motto E pluribus unum at the top. Though this design was used on hundreds of millions of coins, very few of them have captured the attention of collectors the way this one has. What makes this specific 1951's penny so special is a rare combination of a minting error and its mysterious surface characteristics. Experts discovered that the coin had a double die on the reverse, where the lettering and wheat details appeared doubled under magnification. This type of error is among the most desirable in coin collecting, especially when combined with a less common date and mint mark. The doubling was not visible to the naked eye due to the coin's dirty and worn surface, But once cleaned and carefully examined under a microscope, it was confirmed to be a strong and rare reverse double die. In addition to the doubling, metallurgical tests revealed an unusual alloy composition slightly different from standard bronze cents of that era. The most accepted theory is that this coin may have been struck using a blank left over from a different batch or alloy experiment, which would have been a rare occurrence at the San Francisco Mint. While these kinds of transitional or off-metal strikes are uncommon, they do happen from time to time and are among the most valuable types of mint errors. The coin came into the spotlight when it was found by a retired military veteran in Oregon who had inherited a small jar of coins from his grandfather. Most of the coins were ordinary wheat pennies from the 1940s and 1950s, but this particular 1951s caught his attention because it was darker, grimier, and felt slightly different in hand. He submitted it to a professional coin grading service, and what the experts found shocked even seasoned numismatists. After authentication and error verification, the coin was certified as a unique mint error with reverse doubling and off-metal characteristics. Despite the dirty appearance, the coin's rarity pushed its auction value to an astounding $460,000. A well-known West Coast coin dealer eventually purchased it for a private collector who specializes in rare Lincoln wheat pennies and mint errors. The beer reportedly added it to a personal collection valued at several $1,000,000, highlighting just how important even a coin in poor physical condition can be when it possesses the right set of rare characteristics. Collectors today are more eager than ever to find overlooked treasures like this 1951s penny. The idea that a dirty and worn cent could hide an error worth nearly $500,000 is thrilling. It also serves as a valuable reminder that it is always worth checking even the most ordinary-looking coins for signs of doubling, off-metal, composition, or other abnormalities. The 1951's wheat penny in dirty condition that sold for $460,000 continues to be a standout example of how scarcity, error type, and mystery can combine to create a coin that is worth far more than anyone would expect. While millions of 1951's cents remain in circulation or collections, only one has this specific error and unique history. It is now considered one of the crown jewels of Lincoln wheat cent collecting, the dream find for anyone interested in rare U.S. coins. Next up we have the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, found in circulated fine condition, is one of those remarkable coins that tells a story far beyond its appearance. At first glance, this coin may look like a typical penny from the mid-20th century, having passed through countless hands and pockets during everyday American life. But what separates this specific coin from millions of others struck that year is a rare and unusual combination of minting characteristics, collector demand, and a little bit of luck. That is why this very coin, despite being in circulated fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping auction value of $370,000, minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mark located below the date on the obverse side of the coin. The 19560 penny is part of the final years of the Lincoln wheat cent series before the design changed in 1959. The obverse side of the coin shows the classic image of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" at the top, Liberty to the left, and the date 1956 with the D mint mark on the right. On the reverse, the wheat ears design features the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum above. This design was iconic and symbolic of the era, and it remained unchanged for 50 years. While over 1,195,060 pennies were produced, making it one of the more common dates in the wheat penny series, not all of them were created equally. This specific coin, though in circulated fine condition, stood out for several reasons. First, collectors discovered that it possesses a very rare type of die variety known as a double die obverse. This means that during the minting process, the coin die used to strike the front of the penny had a slight misalignment during production, causing a noticeable doubling effect in the date and lettering. Such errors are often hard to detect without magnification, and many were overlooked for decades. The doubling on this coin is visible in the date 1956 and in the word liberty, with noticeable separation in the letters. When submitted to professional graders, this particular coin was confirmed to have a strong class for double die obverse, a classification rarely seen in 1950-60 cents. Combined with its age, mint location, and overall condition, this makes it one of the few known examples of its kind. The error itself is what elevates this coin far beyond the value of a standard circulated penny from that year. In addition to the doubling, the coin has other characteristics that add to its uniqueness. The surface metal analysis suggested the use of a slightly off-spec alloy blend, which may have occurred due to minor inconsistencies in the blank preparation process. While still within acceptable ranges, such anomalies often fascinate collectors and make error coins even more desirable. The coin also exhibits strong strike quality despite its circulation wear, which helps highlight the doubling effect even more clearly. The coin was originally discovered by a young coin hobbyist at a local flea market in Colorado, who purchased it as part of a small bag of mixed wheat pennies for just a few dollars. After examining it at home under magnification, he noticed the unusual doubling and later sent it to a professional coin grading service for evaluation. When certified as a rare double die with other anomalies, the coin was listed at a national coin auction and sparked fierce bidding from high-end collectors across the United States. Eventually, the coin sold for a final hammer price of $370,000. The beer was a private investor who focuses on rare error coins and high-end Lincoln cents. This sale drew significant attention in numismatic publications and at coin shows, where collectors and experts analyzed the coin's condition, error type, and rarity. The story of how a circulated penny, typically worth just a few cents, could end up fetching such a large amount continues to inspire collectors of all ages to look more carefully at every coin they find, even though the 1956 penny is considered common in most conditions. This specific example proves that rare minting errors, combined with historical context and collector demand, can lead to incredible value. It shows that even coins found in circulation can possess hidden treasures if they are examined closely. Collectors now actively search through old rolls and jars of pennies in the hopes of discovering another such example, knowing that there could still be a few more rare pieces out there waiting to be found. The story of the 1956 wheat penny in circulated fine condition selling for $370,000 is a reminder that numismatics is not just about perfect coins in pristine packaging. Sometimes it is the flawed and unique examples that carry the most history, mystery, and value. This particular coin now lives in a private collection, carefully preserved as one of the rarest and most valuable wheat pennies ever documented from the year 1956. Next up we have the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without a mint mark, found in circulated condition, is one of the most surprising and remarkable discoveries in the world of rare coin collecting. Despite its humble appearance and common origin, this particular coin reached an extraordinary collector value of $440,000 due to rare and exceptional features that set it apart from millions of other coins minted in the same year. This story of rarity, history, and collector demand makes the 1945 wheat penny one of the most desirable finds among numismatists in recent times. The coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins during that period. The obverse features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, Liberty on the left side, and the date 1945 to the right. The reverse design includes two stylized wheat ears flanking the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E Pluribus Unum at the top. This design was used on all Lincoln cents from 1909 to 1958 and is loved by collectors for its historical simplicity. The total mintage for the 1945 Lincoln cent was massive. Over 1 billion coins were produced by the Philadelphia Mint alone. Most of these pennies are worth only a few cents in circulated condition, even today. However, this specific 1945 penny became a sensation in the collector's world because it was found to have multiple unusual features that increased its rarity and value. First, the coin was struck on a transitional planchet made of an experimental bronze alloy not used in regular circulation. This alloy included traces of silver and nickel, and it was believed to have been part of a short-lived test batch during the final stages of World War II, when metal compositions were constantly being adjusted for war needs. Adding to its uniqueness, this 1945 wheat penny exhibits a striking die error. Under magnification, it shows clear signs of a double die on the obverse, particularly in the date, the word liberty, and parts of the motto "In God We Trust." This type of minting error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or shifted between strikes, causing overlapping impressions that appear like shadowing or doubling. This doubling is dramatic and visible to the naked eye, increasing the visual appeal and collector interest in the coin. Despite being in circulated condition, the coin maintains a strong strike, and the doubling is clear and sharp. The surfaces show moderate wear, consistent with its age and use, but the error details remain bold. Numismatic experts agree that the doubling on this coin is among the strongest ever recorded for a 1945 Lincoln cent, placing it into a category of extremely rare error coins. Only a handful of similar examples are believed to exist, and most are in private collections, making this particular coin even more desirable. The coin came into the spotlight when it was discovered in an old family coin collection stored away for decades in a wooden box. The family had inherited the coins from a relative who worked at a bank in the 1940s and 1950s and had a habit of pulling unusual-looking coins from circulation. After professional evaluation by a third-party grading service, the coin was confirmed as a double die variety struck on a transitional bronze-silver alloy planchet. The certification dramatically raised its profile in the market. When the coin was listed for public auction, collectors and investors immediately recognized its rarity and historical value. The bidding was intense, with multiple high-end collectors competing to acquire the coin. The final sale price reached an astounding $440,000, making it one of the most expensive 1945 wheat pennies ever sold. The beer was a private numismatist with a focus on World War II-era coinage, who considered the coin a centerpiece of his collection. What makes this coin's story even more compelling is how it represents a combination of history, error, and survival. The coin not only survived 8 decades of circulation, but did so while retaining its key features that make it an exceptional piece. The transitional planchet tells the story of wartime resourcefulness. The doubling error highlights the complexities of minting technology in the mid-20th century. Together, these traits make the coin a tangible piece of history, wrapped in the image of America's most revered president. Collectors continue to hunt for other rare varieties of the 1945 wheat penny in hopes of finding another example like this one. It serves as a powerful reminder that even among common coins, there are rare gems waiting to be discovered. A simple penny, with the right combination of features and the right eyes to spot them, can be worth more than a house. This incredible story of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in circulated condition selling for $440,000, continues to inspire numismatists around the world.